Welcome to Bike Comparers. Today we'll be comparing the Aprilia SR150 versus the Vespa SXL 150. Pricing and features. The Aprilia SR150 retails for 75,000 rupees on road Delhi, which is a jaw-dropping 26,000 rupees cheaper than the Vespa SXL 150 costing 1 lakh rupees. Both bikes feature a disc brake at the front. The SXL 150 makes do with a trailing link suspension up front, while the SR 150 gets proper telescopic forks. What that does to the dynamics of the two scooters, we'll find it out shortly. Performance and tractability. Surprisingly, the metal-bodied Vespa is 8 kilograms lighter than the plastic-bodied Aprilia. That is because the Vespa's steel monocoque structure doubles up as both the chassis as well as the body. The Aprilia, on the other hand, has a tubular steel chassis underneath the plastic bodywork. Bigger wheels and telescopic suspension also play their part in increasing the SR150's curb weight. This results in a lower power to weight ratio and torque to weight ratio for the Aprilia. Its bigger wheel size also results in overall taller gear ratio compared to the Vespa 150, resulting in an even weaker low-end torque when compared to the already weak low-end of the Vespa 150 versus its 125cc rivals. However, Aprilia's taller gearing gives it a higher top speed compared to not just the SXL 150 but compared to any other scooter sold in the country today. What saves the day for the Aprilia is its rorty exhaust note, which, even though slightly unrefined, makes the Aprilia feel quicker than it actually is. The Vespa, which shares the same 154.4cc power plant, also falls woefully short in terms of refinement, but overall sounds less noisy than the Aprilia and thus completely unexciting to ride. Handling and ride quality. The Vespa is no match to the sheer awe-inspiring handling prowess of the Aprilia SR150. The SR150 is by far the best handling scooter in the country today. In fact, it is so good that it handles better than most 100 to 125cc motorcycles. It is the only scooter sporting 14-inch wheels on the market. It has ultra-wide 120 section soft compound tires at both ends and is quite stiffly sprung, giving it fantastic grip as well as agility in the corners, while its 1350 mm wheelbase keeps it stable over mid-corner undulations. The Vespa, on the other hand, was never meant to carve corners. Its trailing link suspension setup at the front does a lot of damage to its dynamic capabilities compared to scooters sporting telescopic suspension. Trailing link setups have the inherent disadvantage of squatting instead of pitching when you apply the front brakes, transferring the weight to the rear and resulting in loss of front end grip, which can be especially dangerous in panic braking situations. Aprilia SR150's suspension also could have been tuned slightly softer, especially considering the harsh reality of Indian roads. We understand that Vespa, being a sporty brand and all, has to infuse its back-breaking ride behavior to all products wearing its logo, including scooters. But such unbearably hard ride on a 150cc scooter surely feels like an overkill. Comfort and ergonomics. Both scooters share common flaws of high saddle height and small, slim seats. Since these scooters were designed keeping the European customer in mind, their saddle heights are a bit too tall for the average Indians, especially ladies who will have to stretch their legs and balance the scooter on their toes at traffic lights. The seat length is also limited, which means the pillion will have to snuggle up to the rider even if he or she doesn't want to. If that's a good thing or bad is something we will leave it up to you. Both scooters do have decent underseat storage, big enough to accommodate a full face helmet if you buy the right one. Fuel efficiency. The Vespa SXL 150 has an ARAI certified mileage of 55 kmpl, which is 2 kmpl more than the Aprilia SR 150. However, in our back-to-back tests, both scooters were just as efficient, returning an efficiency of 40 kmpl. Reliability and after-sales service. Piaggio is still one of the newest entrants into the Indian two-wheeler industry and is still in process of establishing a smoothly running after-sales operation. Like all other Italian brands, Piaggio is far from being a benchmark for product reliability and after-sales service. Vespa scooters have been riddled with niggling issues and sporadic service support ever since the LX125's launch over 4 years ago. It is best to adopt a wait and watch policy with the Aprilia SR150 till all the teething troubles get sorted out. Resale and cost of ownership. Both scooters are bound to depreciate sharply after a usage of 5 to 7 years, thanks to their low fuel efficiency and questionable durability. However, it will be easier to find a 16-year-old kid who has just received his driving license for the Aprilia, giving it a slight advantage over the Vespa. Overall, the Aprilia SR150 works out to be over 15,000 rupees lighter on the pocket than the Vespa SXL 150 in the long term. That brings us to the verdict. The Vespa SXL 150 is a lemon. It hardly has any performance advantage over Vespa's own 125cc variants. If you are thinking of buying the Vespa for its looks, better go for the 125. You will have to shell out less money and you'll save even more at the fuel pump. If you want a scooter with more performance than your average Activa, then again the SXL 150 just doesn't have the underpinnings, that is wheels, tires, brakes and suspension, to handle higher speeds than normal scoots, which is where the Aprilia comes in. It is the clear winner of this test. Technically, it is a far superior machine than the Vespa SXL 150. It has immensely better chassis, suspension, tires and brakes, resulting in far superior dynamics than the Vespa. It is also better value for money than the Vespa thanks to a significantly lower price tag and slightly better residual value. Not to forget how expensive Vespa's metal bodywork can be to repair.